The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see today, I'm giving very like radioactive teas. I really just wanted to use this one lipstick by McGrath. I've had this since last year and I still haven't used it. And I wanted to, so I did, and I built a look around this. But yeah, so it's very radioactive today. That's just kind of how it, that's kind of how the turntable, do you know what I'm saying? Anyways, so today I am fantasizing, okay? In the age where pretty much anyone can get a makeup collab, you know, Care Bears, anything Disney related, cereals. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know, like Crocodile Dundee gets one eventually, because anything can be makeup now. Makeup is now merch. Anything can be makeup. So I decided if you can't beat them, you should join them. So I'm going to talk about some existing IPs that I would personally like to see in a makeup collab. Not because they have anything to do with makeup, but because that's just what we're doing now. And anything can collab, so I may as well get the ones that I want. So I'm going to be talking about IPs that I would like to see done properly in a makeup collab. These will probably never happen realistically because I don't know, people don't like to see me win, so like these probably never happen. But these are more like inner machinations of my mind, you know, insert spilled milk. These are like yeah, like this is a bit of a fever dream, if you will. We're just having some fun today. So I tried to pick a few different mediums that I could work with to pull from. So I think that kind of explains everything that needs to be explained about this. So let's just go ahead and get into the video. So the first idea that I have starts in 1845 with our favorite troubled Bostonian man, Edgar Allan Poe, and this is the Raven collection. Now, the Raven is one of my favorite poems, and I found out it was actually published on my birthday in 1845. So I feel like this is like a very full circle moment. Like this was meant to be. So for this Raven collection, I'm seeing, you know, dark, gritty. It's giving Once Upon a Midnight Dreary. You know what I'm saying? It's giving very dark, very gothic era, very, very that vibe, you know? So for a palette, because I have a palette, of course, I'm seeing like a lot of deep reds and purples, maybe some various shades of blue, kind of in that vibe, and like maybe like a pop of yellow. Also seeing, I'm seeing like, I don't know why, I'm seeing like a pop of yellow. Now, the closest thing I can think of that's on the market that kind of has a similar vibe to this is the Melt. Well, it's not on the market anymore. The Melt Muerte, like kind of that similar vibe, a little more like dark, a little more gritty. Maybe not as many like bright colors as they have in that one. And I think that yellow that I was thinking of could symbolize Lenore somehow. I don't know. But like, you see the vibe though. It's just very dark, very gritty, very, you know, like Nevermore, very that. So for the lipsticks, I think we could get away with some funky colors here. This is where we can have some fun. I think we can get away with some real funky colors. Like, I think, of course, it has to be a black, but maybe even like a mustardy kind of color, or like a deep blood red, maybe like a deeper purple. Like, I'm seeing, like, I'm just seeing it. It's in my mind's eye. I can't get it out my head, man. And so I don't see a highlight for this palette because I feel like, I mean, like, what are we highlighting? Sadness, loneliness, insanity, like what are we highlighting there? So I don't think a highlight needs to be there, but I do see some blush. And like, follow me here. So the blushes I'm seeing are like deep mahogany or like a purple, almost like it gives you like a dead kind of bruised look to go with the whole aesthetic. Because like when I think of Poe, I think of bruises, but don't ask me why, I won't explain that one. And I see, you know, more contour, more depth, more like, you know, like Skeletor kind of look. So yeah, I think like a deep contour, or like no bronzer, no highlight. We're going for like, you know, we grave Robin tonight kind of thing. And then to top it off, I'm seeing like a really high level mascara or some lashes, because you know, like Raven, Bird, Flutter, get it? So I'm seeing that kind of vibe. So some brands that I think potentially could pull this off if they were gonna take this idea. I think Melt, maybe. Like I said, because they had the Muerte, and I think the Muerte is like the closest vibe I can think of. So maybe if they got their formula under control, maybe. Maybe also like Necromancy Cosmetica, because they already have that like gothic romance collection. So I feel like they're already in that, going in that direction. So I think they could do it. And also they have a lot of the similar lip colors like that I was thinking of. So I think they potentially could do it. I haven't tried anything from the brand, but like the aesthetic I think matches with this. I think another one maybe is Black Moon Cosmetics. Again, I don't, because like a lot of these, again, they're all in my mind's eye. So I don't know if there's a brand that could truly like pull it off, but these are the ones that I have most faith in. So yeah, that's the Raven collection based off of one of my favorite poems. So the next one that I'm thinking of playing with is we're gonna jump to Broadway. So we're gonna go based off of one of my favorite musicals. And if you've watched this channel enough, you can probably guess what it is. It's Cats. I know Cats, again, is like one of those very like hit or miss musicals where people either really like it or really hate it. I don't care, I really like it. I've seen it twice in a year. I'm probably gonna go see it the third time. So I may be the only person interested in a Cats themed makeup, but I exist, I'm interested, and I'm valid. So I'm gonna get into what I see for this. So for this palette that's in this, I see a lot of reds. So I don't know if this is a form of like synesthesia or whatever, but when I think of Cats, the color red comes to mind. And it might be because, like, okay, so I used to have it on like VHS back in the day. And so on the VHS, they had a preview for it leading up into the actual show. And so that's what it looked like. And I really liked the way it was done. You can probably find, if I can find like the actual like promo that I'm thinking of, I will try to link it. But it's so old, I don't know if it's gonna be on YouTube. So, but like I think of reds, and like they use a lot of reds in that promo. So I think that's why I think about that when I think about Cats. And like I said, it might be a form of synesthesia. I don't know. I don't quite understand how that works. So for the palette, I'm thinking like a lot of reds, like bright reds, but then some golds and maybe some oranges to kind of round it out, and maybe like some purples even. Just like kind of giving that like dark feral cat vibe. And then I'm also seeing, because the makeup for Cats, not the movie, like I said, I don't acknowledge the movie over here, but for the play, the makeup is just so intricate with like a lot of fine lines. I think this will be a good place for some colored liners. And so like really concentrated colored liners too. I'm not talking like the little like, you know, kind of watery ones. No, I'm talking like full pigment colored liners. And so I'm seeing for this like a red, black, a yellow, and like a white, I think. And I think with those, you could kind of like mix them to do whatever you gotta do. But that's what I'm seeing. And then for lipstick, I'm seeing a red lip and then a brown lip, which may seem odd, like a brown lip. But when I think of this brown lip, I'm specifically thinking of one cat, Cassandra. She's like I think she's like a Siamese cat, supposed to be. And so I'm thinking of her specifically with this brown lip. And then having like matching lip liners in the same color. And because this is my fever dream and not yours, I really want a cup that goes with this merch line for no other reason than to match my mug that's Cats. I have a magic mug that I got from the first time I saw Cats on stage. I got it from this theater, and so I'm seeing a cup to go with that, and that's for me and no one else, okay? But again, my fever dream, not yours. And so like, this is such a niche thing that I don't really know any brands that could pull it off to my liking, but ideally there's one that exists, and if they were gonna do Cats, they would do it justice, and I would buy every last bit of it. So for this next one, to be frank, I'm kind of surprised no one's jumped on this yet. I think it's because the source material is like the more favorable one, and I guess technically speaking, this one's not in the you know, the domain. Was a public domain, that's what I'm looking for. This was not in the public domain like her source material is, because the source material is Cinderella. So I'm thinking like an Ella Enchanted collection, which, yeah, again, I think people just go for Cinderella because they don't have to like fight for rights or whatever. But I think Ella Enchanted could be a fun one to kind of play around with. So Ella Enchanted is actually one of my favorite movies. even to this day. And so I think it'll be a fun thing to play around with. And I know it was a book too, but I didn't read it, and I'm probably not gonna at this point, just being honest with you. So for this collection, I'm seeing kind of the amalgamation of a lot of the different like fairy, magic, pixie themed stuff that we've been seeing for the past couple of years. So of course I'm seeing like a light yellow and like light blue based palette. Overall, the palette's going to be a little bit lighter. So maybe like some light greens, like a seafoam kind of color, and maybe some like pinks thrown in as well. I'm seeing very like Easter egg pastel for this kind of palette, which I know sounds odd, considering, but I don't know, that's just like in my mind's eye, that's what makes the most sense to me. I don't see it being the biggest palette either. I see this maybe being like a six-ish pan, maybe like 8 pan, something like that. Because like I don't see this being like an independent palette. I think it's more like a pan palette. It almost gives the same vibe as, what's that one from Devinah Cosmetics? The name's escaping me, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like with all the pastels, kind of sort of like that, but maybe like a little more dark skin friendly. But it's in that same family though. And for this, I don't see lipstick for this collection. I see more so lip gloss, because I don't know, if you're like running through the forest trying to like not be obedient, I just don't see you doing that in a lipstick. I feel like that would be too much work. I think that lip gloss would be the easier option. So yeah, I see like a gloss, like a nice clear, barely there gloss with a lot of shine. And then I also see some nice highlighters, whereas I didn't for the Raven collection. I didn't really see highlighters. I do see highlighters for this one. So, but not just with regular highlighters. I'm seeing like those kind of like colored highlighters making a comeback. So like a nice kind of pinky highlighter, a nice green highlighter even, you know, gold highlighter, like maybe like a pink orange shifty highlighter, you know, just to kind of really embody the magic of the land. You know, I'm seeing, when I think of Ellen Chandler, I think of magic. So we're given magic here. To be frank, I think ColourPop will eventually get here. Not saying they're gonna do it well, but I think they're gonna do it. I think they're eventually gonna land on Enchanted, because they seem to be able to get like collabs easiest. So they will eventually make their way here. Will it be good? TBD. But they will eventually make their way here. So the last one that I want to talk about is one that I might be the most excited about if it were to come to fruition. And it's because I love this franchise, still do, growing up, but I still love it. And it's the Cheetah Girls. I was one of those kids. So I was, you know, in one dreary day in 2003, I was tuned in watching the first Cheetah Girls. And I watched the second one. I didn't watch the third one until recently, and I realized why I didn't, because I'm not gonna lie, that one's not great. That one's not, it's not terrible, but it's just, you know, I don't think it really like lived up to the first and second one. It might be because Raven's not there, but that's another story. Anyways, so, you know, it was just truly iconic. So I think if done right, I think that this could potentially be a good collection. I think it could. So for this Cheetah Girls collection, I'm seeing more like that kind of glam nude. It's not gonna be that, you know, very like just neutral. I don't see it being like maybe neutral colors, but not a neutral face, you know, very glam, very done up. Like you can tell they're wearing makeup. It's very like high level. And so I'm seeing a lot of like bronzes, coppers, browns, terracottas, champagne gold, very Cheetah-licious, you know what I'm saying? And maybe like a pop of like olive or maybe like an army green, and some smoky purples. But overall, it's very sultry, very sexy, very glam. What I think would set this palette off, like set it apart, because I feel like for Cheetah Girls, they're not just gonna do like a regular basic palette. I think what will really set this apart is like different textures. So similar to how the NAYBLA Dreamy 2 has a lot of different textures in it, I see something similar. So I'm seeing, you know, duochrome, multitone, shimmers, mattes, high shimmers, soft mattes, just it, again, as extra as possible, everything you possibly put in it, as extra as possible for that very high glam look. Like a lot of glitters even, you know, just something. And I see like a few kohl liners for this. So, you know, black, dark brown, deep purple. I don't think they would really venture far outside of that. And so for this one, again, whereas for the Raven palette, I didn't really see like bronzer or highlight. I do see a lot of bronzer and highlight for this, even maybe some glittery highlights, but especially like bronzers, you know, glittery highlighters, like in, you know, bronze and gold and champagne, that very like high glam kind of look. And then I see one medium brown lipstick with a dark brown lip liner and a gloss, kind of channeling that like, you know, late 90s, early 2000s look of like a clear lip with like a lip liner, like that kind of look. You know, you don't have to wear those together, of course, but that's just the vibe I see for this. And I think, because while I mentioned it, I do think that maybe AnGLOWla could do something like this, but I don't know if AnGLOWla would care to pick up the Cheetah Girls. But that's kind of like the vibe that I see for something like this. Maybe even like a MAC, I think, could do this, but that's if and only if they don't just repackage old products. If they do that, that's a no-go for me. But if they really put some thought into it, I think MAC potentially could do the Cheetah Girls justice. Or maybe I'm making that up and I just really want to believe that. But you know what? Let me live in my delusion. It's okay.
Ciao. Anyway, so...
And that is going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching. These were just some ideas I had. They were bounced around in my head. You know, they probably will never happen, but a girl can dream. If some brand wants to pay me to consult, I will absolutely take your money though. And if you hated these ideas, good news, they don't exist. So it's not like it's any skin off your back. Anyway, so tell me in the comments, what's your niche desire for a makeup collab? Like that probably only you want. But the fact that you want it means that there's a desire for it. So what's the one that you think could be something interesting? Let me know in the comments. As always, you can find me on Instagram at Deja Vu. You can find me on Twitter at Deja Vu 2. You can find me on TikTok at Deja Vu 3. And you can follow my podcast, Grossly Overqualified, found everywhere the podcasts are found. So until then, you guys think of your own machinations of your inner mind and, you know, have fun with it. And bye-bye.